And she's like, the person I chose to go to paradise with is, and the announcer, she's saying it over the loudspeaker. She's like, Minji matched with Subin. And the crowd said, oh, Subin? Like, are you hello? So I'm saying, I sat there and I said, oh. It's Jay. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new around here, welcome back. Hey y'all, how you guys doing today? I hope you're doing great, because I know that I am. Now, from the title of the video, you guys already know what we're getting into today. We are continuing our discussion on episodes 9 and 10 of Singles Inferno. If you haven't seen part 1 of this little recap session, I don't know what you're doing here. I'm gonna need you to pause this video. Plus, the iCards are right up here, and watch my playlist that recaps everything that has happened thus far, because girly, when I tell you it's about to go down, girls are fighting, the boys are shaking in their boots, and some couples are swapping. Hello, what? But I'm assuming if you clicked on that video, you guys know that already. So I'm gonna cut my rambling here. Don't forget to grab a snack and a drink, and without further ado, let's dive right on into the discussion. Cut to episode 9, right? At this point, everyone is back from paradise, and when I tell you, Go-eun didn't even get to blink in anyone's direction before Seung-il walked out and said, Go-eun, come for a chat. The girl is still holding her luggage when he pulled her for a chat, and he's sitting there and he's talking to her. He's like, okay, so where do you stand? Like, how are you feeling? Like, how's this? The basic Seung-min spiel every time she interacts with another man. She basically lets him know, me and Hyun-woo is not gonna work. I wasn't feeling him. I didn't really enjoy our interactions or whatever. You don't gotta worry about that. He's like, oh, that right there, phenomenal, right? So then he tells her while she was away, he spoke to Egon, and Egon let it be known that he knows who he wants to pursue now, and he hinted at that person being Go-eun. At this point in time, it seems like there's about to be a little feud sparking up between Seung-min and Egon, right? Next, we see Minji pull Mina for a chat. She doesn't say anything to Seung-il. I don't even think they greeted each other for real. She just goes straight up to Mina. She's like, hey girly, can we talk? Mina's like, yeah, let's go to the seesaw. They're sitting there, they're talking, and Minji, she just blurts out everything that's been building up these past few days. She's like, girl, I spoke to you before. You tell me that you're not interested in Seung-il. You tell me that's not something you want to pursue. Then I see you interacting with Subin and Seung-eun, and then Hyun-woo, and you pull Hyun-woo for a chat. So I'm thinking, okay, that's where you're gonna go. And then lo and behold, you come back and you tell me that you still want Seung-il, and then all this other stuff. Basically, she's checking her for being all over the place. She's like, girl, you telling me one thing, you're doing something else, you're saying you like this person, but then you're interacting with someone else. What gives? What do you got going on? If you would have told me that you wanted to go to paradise with him, I would have gave you full permission. I'm not gonna stop you. I'm fine with y'all interacting with each other. I actually wanted y'all to do that, but I can't get behind you lying about it, right? So after you went on this trip, I want you to tell me, who is it that you're actually into? Mina, she's sitting there, then she gives her whole spiel that she's been giving this whole time. First impressions, oh this, oh that, yada yada. Minji's like, okay, I didn't know that, but who do you like now? She goes, oh, well, it's still the same for me. You know, I still can't make a choice. You know, I'm still confused about who I like and all this other stuff. And, you know, I still like Seung-eun, and I still like Subin, and I still like Seung-il, and I still want to get to know all 3 of them, and whatever. And Minji's just like, She continues, and she's like, you know, my decision relies heavily on the choice that Seung-il makes, because if he chooses me, then I would be more inclined to go to him. And Mina's like, so you like who likes you? And she's like, yeah, you know, I can't help it. I like whoever likes me. Like, that's just what it is. You know, I'm sorry, but I wish someone could just make the decision for me. Like, why can't someone just make the decision for me? Minji's like, no, you have to make that decision yourself. But she was like, you don't even know yourself. So how can you be in a relationship when you don't know yourself? How can you make a choice when you yourself don't even understand how you're feeling? Which is a fact. Was the delivery a little sharp? Was it a little blunt? Yes. Is it true? I think so. I can fully agree. Because if you don't know who you are as a person, you don't know your likes and you don't know your interests. There are a lot of times where people who don't understand themselves or who don't know who they are as a person, they struggle very heavily with making life choices. They struggle with making decisions for themselves and about themselves. And for her to constantly go around telling people, I'm just so confused about how I feel, I just don't understand where I'm, it's like, girl, if you don't know, who gonna know? Who's gonna know? You're the only one who can know, and these people are asking you questions and you're giving them nothing. So what do you think the conclusion they're gonna come to is? What Minji just said, you don't know yourself, so you don't know anything. When I tell you that had a trigger for her, I mean, she's like, it's not that I don't know myself, I just, because all the dudes are so different, they each bring out different sides of me, so I'm just trying to gauge which side of me I like more. I don't know how to word it, but I feel like you understand what I'm trying to say. Yes. So she clears that up, and then all of a sudden an alarm goes off, breaking off the conversation, letting them know that the girls are about to have a challenge. And as they break off, Mina, she goes to the side, she sits like behind one of the houses, and she cries. She has like a little moment where she cries because, like I said, what Minji said really got to her. She felt like that was really disrespectful. She felt like it wasn't Minji's place to say that, and it was a whole thing. And then after that, she like wiped her tears, she got ready, and we cut to the girls' challenge, right? Still in that pool of water that was there from the previous episodes. And the difference is this time the girls have a hat and a tail. They go head to head, and you have to rip off your opponent's hat and their tail to become the winner or whatever, right? When the girls hear what the challenge is, Mina and Minji, they're automatically like, get in the ring. Because they both still are feeling the heightened emotion from that previous conversation. So they kind of just want to hash it out there, but they don't get selected. The different girls go head to head, and in the end, there are 3 winners, and those winners get to take a man of their choice to paradise, right? So Minji, if you know Minji's an athlete, you know how she be. So when she hears the challenge or when she sees it, she's like, oh, beast mode, don't care. Now, someone who shocked me was Joo-hyun. It was Joo-hyun versus Mina Soo. And Joo-hyun, bro, when I tell you Joo-hyun went beast mode, yo, she was like a shark out for blood. She had a grip on Mina's tail, and once she got her hand on that, it was over. Mina's arm was literally hooked behind her back, and she's holding onto the tail, and Joo-hyun is just like yanking it, and she rips it, and she's like, yo, her face, she went pure grizzly, like it was crazy. But that thoroughly impressed me. But anyways, another one that was kind of funny was actually Minji and Hyun, because it's just like, you got this intimidating competitive shark, and then you have the youngest girl in the villa who looks like she couldn't hurt a fly even if she tried. And Minji, she doesn't even try to rip the girl's tail off. She literally just pushes her out of bounds, and she's just like, okay, wrap this up, whatever. Like, she didn't even do nothing to her. She was like, I'm not even gonna do this with you. Son, she went up against Go-eun, and they were pretty evenly matched, actually. They almost ended up in a tie, but Hyun ended up pulling out to the end. You get to the end of the challenge. Like I said, there are 3 winners, right? Based off of their placement with this last challenge, you get to know who gets to pick first, who gets to pick second, and who gets to pick third, right? Joo-hyun and Hyun, they decide that they want to team up against Minji because Minji's obviously the most intimidating one. She's competitive, she's athletic. Like, they know if it's them against her, they're not getting Nathaniel, so they're just like, okay. Hyun, she decides to attack Minji first. She's going for Minji when all of a sudden, like, Hyun gets tag team. You have Minji reaching out to grab the hat, and Joo-hyun snakes behind her and rips her tail off and then throws it at her head, which I don't think was intentional, but I was just like, I don't know, like, Joo-hyun got that dog in her. Like, I didn't think she was that competitive, but we definitely saw a different side of her in this challenge. It cuts to Minji and Joo-hyun. It's their time to go head to head. Battle lasted maximum 30 seconds. 30 seconds flat. Like, she didn't even give Joo-hyun time to breathe. The minute she got Joo-hyun down, ripped the hat off her head, yanked off the tail, threw it in the water, and Joo-hyun falls. And I was just like, oh, this was one for the history books. But yeah, so the 3 winners in order now is Minji, Joo-hyun, and Hyun, right? Minji, like, obviously she was very confident in herself. She knew she was gonna win. We knew that after she won, she would likely take Seung-il, and that's just a done deal, right? But as they're sitting there and they're eating their lunch for the day, Minji, she's sitting at the head of the table, and Seung-il is sitting all the way over here, and he's sitting across from Mina Soo. And as he's there, he's chopping it up with Mina. They're like giggling, reminiscing about their paradise date, and he's not paying Minji no mind. From the time he got back from paradise up until this point that we have seen, he has not interacted with Minji at all. Like they had no conversations. They had like, it was just nothing. And Minji, she started to feel it because she's like, I just want a trip to paradise, and you're not even, no congratulations, like no excitement about going, no nothing. She gets up, she's like, I lost her appetite. She's putting away her stuff, and as she's sitting there washing the dishes, she's like washing, like rubbing, scrubbing, whatever, you see Subin walk past her, right? Walk. And she looks at Subin and she's like, hey, can I pull you for a chat? Subin is like, oh yeah, sure, that's fine. I'm over here like, oh girl, you have the chance to do the funniest thing, you know, if you want to. You have the potential to do something so hee ha ha, and I would be here for it. Trust me, I would, right? Then you see Minji and Subin like walk off into the distance. They're having a conversation, talking about how paradise was, all this other stuff, and we don't get to see how their conversation went. It just cuts there. Well, the next thing we see is Egon and Go-eun. They're sitting there having like one of their many conversations that they usually have, where they're just talking about the different things that they like in relationships and things that they dislike, and seeing where they match up and align and all this other stuff. They're giggling as they always do, and they're just chopping it up. There's not too much to say on that, but I just wanted to let it be known that they were having their little interactions as well. But the next thing I want to talk about is Mina and Subin. Mina, she goes into one of the rooms that Subin is sitting in, and she's like, hey, can I talk to you real quick? And basically she starts off by letting it be known that her feelings were a little bit off the previous day when they were at Paradise, that when she saw him and Hyun, she started feeling really jealous about it, and that she felt like her pride was hurt. So she owned up to it. She apologized. She was like, I'm really sorry for the way I've been treating you. It's not right. I know I've been acting really childish, and I won't ever treat you the way I have been previously. Like, she's just owning up to everything, and she's just like, I'm really sorry for what I put you through. I still care about you as a person. Like, I still really do like our bond and all that other stuff. And Subin, he tells her like he appreciates the apology, tells her she doesn't really have to worry too much about what happened previously, because he is now fully interested in Hyun. He lets it be known like, hey, I didn't tell you before, but me and Hyun, we've really been chopping it up. We've really been getting to know each other, and we're hitting it off. I really do like her. So to be honest, I wasn't even worried about what you got going on. Like, he's like, girl, I knew what you're doing, but I don't care though. And she hears that, and she's just like, okay, I understand. And she's like, you know, then she tells him, she's like, at this point in time, she realizes that as she was there, she noticed that there's been this one guy who's had her back this whole time, and he's never switched up on her, and he's always supported her. And she's like, that's Seung-il. And she was like, I know that from now on, he's the one that I want to pursue, that he's the one that I want to give my attention to. And Subin, he's like, I love that for you. I'm rooting for you, and I hope that works out. And she's like, I'm rooting for you and Hyun. They dap it up. They're like, good, we're ending it here. We're done. So the Mina and Subin saga, y'all, we can finally put that behind us. The Mina and Subin saga is kaput. It's over. Thank the Lord. You see Minji and Seung-il, they decide to clear the air. Seung-il, he basically is like, you know, I had a good time at Paradise. It was fun, but being there made me realize that it's not even a question. It's not even a debate. For me, it's you. You're the one that I want. You are the one that I, ooh, honey. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, this is it. This is home. This is home. Home is where the heart is, and my heart is with you. You know what I mean? And she's like, it's like a weight off her shoulders. She's like, oh, thank you, finally. So he's like, you know, I'm not trying to put pressure on you on it or anything, but let's go to Paradise one more time. Let's go to Paradise again. Whatever. Basically letting her be known, like, I want to go to Paradise with you. They're back to where they were before. Everything is good in the hood. I'm like, oh, okay, they're back. They're fine. You know, if Minji likes it, I love it. As these episodes progressed, my attachment towards those two has changed very drastically, because I started watching it for them. I started watching it because of the appeal of their, like, that one clip where she pulled the hoodie. You feel me? So I went in thinking, oh, like, I'm gonna root for them no matter what. Because with me, if I find a dynamic cute, if I find a pairing attractive, like, I'm gonna fixate on that. You know what I mean? But as the show was watching, my attention started drifting to other people, and I started realizing that those two, their appeal just don't hit me the same. It don't hit me the same. It's like, oh, if y'all get together, cool. If y'all don't, cool. I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? I don't dislike them, but I'm not overly attached anymore. Like, I say my favorites have changed, both male and female wise. Still love Minji down though. That's still my girl. Don't get it twisted. She could do no wrong in my eyes. I'm sorry. It gets to the point where the girls have to make their decisions, right? I'm thinking, oh, it's a done deal. The only person I was questioning in terms of who they would take is Joo-hyun, because she just hit it off with Hyun-jae, but she has always had interest in Jae-jin, right? Minji goes first. Again, I'm thinking it's obvious. She just had her conversation with Seung-il. She's been gung-ho about Seung-il this whole time. So I'm like, oh, he just told her it's over. Like, I don't need to debate anymore. I'm interested in you. He literally just confirmed his feelings for her. So I'm like, okay, duh, she's gonna pick Seung-il. The guys, they're in the room. The guys are like, oh, Subin, Seung-il, y'all are for sure going, congratulations, da, da, da. So it gets to Minji, and she's like, the person I chose to go to paradise with is, and the announcer, she's saying it over the loudspeaker, she's like, Minji matched with Subin, and the crowd said, oh, Subin, like, are you hello? So I'm saying, I sat there and I said, oh, and I started cackling, bro, because I was like, oh, she really did it. Like, she did it, right? Like, I had a feeling she would when she pulled him for a chat, but honestly, after she had that conversation with Seung-il, I didn't think she had it in her. So and the funniest aspect of it, Subin's face, no reaction. Seung-il, his face fell, but Subin, no reaction. That man just got up, walked out, went up to her. They did the most awkward handhold I've ever seen, and they leave. And at that point, I was like, dang, Heesun is cooked. Like, who is Heesun about to choose? I thought it was over for her. But then we get a little snippet, and Minji actually asked Heesun for permission before she made the decision. So the both of them were in on it. They knew already. I'm assuming she told Subin about it when she pulled him for the chat. So I was like, you know what? Like, my love and my respect for her grew even more in that moment, because she's like, don't get it twisted. I'll check you, but I'm still a girl's girl at the beginning and the end of the day. She basically gave Heesun the treatment that she wished Mina Soo would have gave her. So her and, like I said, her and Subin, they rode off into the sunset. The next person who got to choose was Joo-hyun, and Joo-hyun chose Jae-jin. Now, was I surprised? No. Fingers were crossed for Hyun-jae, they were, but honestly, I feel like deep down I knew she was gonna choose Jae-jin, because like I said before, her interest in Jae-jin is just different. She likes him, like, she genuinely likes him. So he gets up, he smiles, he's walking to her, hold hands, walk off into the sunset. Then it gets to Heesun, and I'm like, who is Heesun about to pick? Because since Heesun has got there, she's only ever showed attraction and interest in Subin. Like, the minute she laid eyes on him, that's the only person she's wanted. Day one, she did not care. Nobody else was tickling her fancy. It gets to her choice, and she's like, Seung-il. And I was like, oh, Seung-il? Okay. I see what you and Minji did. I see what y'all did when y'all had that conversation. I know the both of them had to have plotted that. They're like, oh, Mina's been wreaking havoc on us the whole 7 days she's been here. Let's retaliate. And they took both her men. I said, I know that's right. But then Mina's sitting there, and she's salty because remember, she literally just told Subin that she's about to go all in on Seung-il. She's like, Seung-il is the one who's been giving her the most attention, so Seung-il is the one she wants to go for. Now the shoe's on the other foot, and Heesun took her man, and I was like, hell yeah. Cut to paradise. Heesun and Seung-il are interacting, and they turn out to be way more compatible than I thought they would be. Seung-il is older than I thought he was. I didn't look into any of the cast, to be honest, so anything I learned about them is what I learned through Paradise. So yeah, he's 28. With the way he was acting, he was definitely giving like a 24, 25 kind of energy, but he's 28. I was like, okay. Their jobs, very similar. Based off of where she went to school, he said they likely have a lot of mutual friends. He almost went to that same school that she's in. She also speaks English, which he has made it be known that is something that he's looking into. Like, he remember I said before when he was talking about his interest in Mina, he wasn't sure if his interest in her is because she speaks English or not. So him finding out that Heesun speaks English as well, like, I feel like that was like a light bulb. It's like she slowly just started checking off all their boxes. A lot of their interests the same, a lot of their values the same. It was just like, oh now, do I want her with Seung-il? No. I think her and Subin, like, I feel like her and Subin are just it just makes sense. But if she was to get with Seung-il, I would understand why, because in terms of distance in terms of compatibility, like in terms of interest. There are people who work in Inferno, and then there's people who work outside of Inferno, and for the two of them, they realize that they have the potential to work outside the island that they're on, right? So there's that. Minji and Subin, they're having their conversation, and she's like, are you thinking about anyone else while you're here? And he's like, no, like I'm focused on you, but obviously like Heesun is still in the back of my mind because I like her. And she's like, that's crazy because I'm not thinking about Seung-il at all. Like she's realizing that she's having a time with Subin. Like she's learning more about him. She found out that he was an athlete. She loved that. It's another thing where it's these two people that you wouldn't think to pair together, but they mesh really well. They have a lot of the same interests. They have a lot of the same values. She's very much attracted to him. He mentioned that she has like a cute side, all this other stuff, and I was like, this one got a little Saison. Like I'm got a little pinch of paprika, got a little bit of cayenne. Let me stop. But the point is, it got some flavor. It got some flavor to it, and I was like, oh, we're seeing Minji sway a little bit. He like Subin doesn't really seem like he would switch up on Heesun for Minji, but Minji is definitely giving the vibe that if Subin was willing to pursue that interest, she would go for him. She let it be known that she was very much sad that they waited this long to have a conversation with each other, because she feels like if she would have went with him first, he would have been her choice over Seung-il. I feel like her and Seung-il kind of imprinted on each other. Like he was one of the first dudes that she interacted with, so that's why like she just, oh, for me it's you, like for me you're the one. For me, you're the one. Especially because her interaction with Seung-il contrasted Seungmin so vastly. I feel like her heart and her brain was just like, oh, this is the one, and she latched onto him, and she didn't really give anyone else a chance. Yeah, so they surprisingly had a decent amount of chemistry as well. And something funny happened with the two of them. They were a little tipsy, right? Minji, she was laying in the bed. Seung-il, being the type of guy he is, he didn't want to sleep in the same bed as her, so he was on the foot of the bed, like he was kneeling over, like had his head rested on the thing, and I guess throughout the night he was tipsy and he was hella cold, so he's like, I know I said I was gonna sleep here, but he's like, Minji, can I sleep on the bed? She was like, sure, fine. She got up, she moved to the side. He's then like trying to pull the comforter up so he could sleep at the foot of the bed. It's not coming up, so then he gets up and he ends up like sleeping. They're sleeping like side to side. He bundles up, he turns over, and they're knocked, and they wake up the next morning and they're just like, how did you get up here? He's like, how did I get up here? I don't know what's going on. They're both like, okay, and they're side-eyeing each other, but they're like, whatever. But it was like the most innocent thing. There was nothing to question about it. Jae-jin and Joo-hyun, they continue to hit it off. For them, high-key, it feels like a done deal. Like Jae-jin, he had ample time to talk to a whole bunch of other girls, and I really, really want him and Hyun to have another chance, but honestly, it seems like he wants Joo-hyun. Joo-hyun obviously wants him, and it's like her vibe with him is so different than her vibe with Hyun-jae that I'm like, she knows who she wants deep down. Like, and I can't even be mad because they are all so cute, but like I said before, if I have like a pairing in my mind that I like, that's who I fixate on. So it just is hard. It's hard for me to switch up because I like them. Like, I like Hyun-jae. It's not about Hyun-jae, it's about Jae-jin, and I like Jae-jin too. Don't get it twisted, I like him. Like, I do. Jae-jin is funny. And then they end the episode with Seungmin and Go-eun chatting yet again. They're sitting up there, they've been talking all day. The sun is setting, they're yapping about what I don't remember because they're always yapping. And Egon, he's walking behind and he's like, where is my stinker? Where can she be? Looks up, sees the two of them interacting, and he goes, Go-eun, when are you gonna hang out with me? And then they cut the episode there, and I was like, ooh, okay. Then we go to episode 10. Okay, so we continue. He's like, when will you hang out with me? She's like, I'll do it later. And she turns and she's still yapping to Seungmin, right? Egon, like, he sits there, he's waiting. He was talking to the rest of them. He's like, all right, it's been a while. I don't know why I'm talking to y'all when I need to go fight for the love of my life, right? So then he leaves. It's pitch black outside. It's dark. So I'm like, oh, they've really just been talking for a while. So Egon, he goes up there and he's just like, been some time, like, when are we gonna chat? Seungmin, he's like, oh, do you want to go inside because she said that she's cold? Insinuating that he's not leaving, insinuating that he will also be a part of this conversation. And I'm just like, bro, I get it, but also move, you know what I mean? Like, I understand you don't want to just let another dude take the girl that you're interested in, but then it's also like, this is a dating show. Other people need to have opportunities to talk to her. I understand what he's doing, but I don't know, maybe it's because it's coming from him. I'm just like, stop. Like, I can't, I don't know. It's just so they're sitting in like the little cafeteria or whatever, and it's awkward. It's hella awkward. Like, they're just looking around, and Seung-min, he's just talking to talk. He's like, oh, you know, silence. And he's like, oh, you know, and Egon, he's sitting there, he's just like, Go-eun, she's like, everyone is uncomfortable. So Go-eun, she goes, you know, I think I'm gonna get some ice cream, right? And Seung-min, he's like, oh, you wanna go get some? She's like, I'm gonna get it, but I'm gonna go with Egon. We're gonna go have our chat. So basically, she's like, get a move on, get a life, go talk to someone else. The two of them, they get up, they're walking. Egon basically like, dang, like, you had me feeling like I was third wheeling. Like, she's giggling, you know, as she does. They're walking, they go, they sit down, and they're eating their ice cream. This segment was so cute. Like, it felt like they were just full of giggles. No matter what, giggling. No matter what's going on, they giggling. Something funny happened, giggling. Like, they're eating, her ice cream is like semi-melted, it's like spilling on the table, it's falling on her, all this stuff, and it's just whatever. So then it gets to the point where she's like, should I like pour my water to clean off the little crate? And Egon is like, don't worry, I got you, I got this. He takes her cup, splashes the water on the crate, completely misses the ice cream. They burst out into a fit of laughter, and I couldn't help but laugh too, because I felt pure joy watching it. Like, you know, sometimes when you see people interact and they're just having fun, and that makes you feel like you're having fun too. That's how I felt when I was watching the two of them, and I was like, I'm gonna stick a pin in this one. I have to move on from Hyun-woo. Hyun-woo was such a dumpster fire. I'm like, I love you, but I gotta toss you over here. I'm so sorry. And I can't. I don't care what Go-eun says. I can't go for Seung-min. There's something about Seung-min that just, like, it's not like I hate him, but it's like you're not doing it for me. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just, you don't do it for me. I don't feel it. Like, I don't feel it. Like, it's just, I don't feel it. And I mean, like, who am I? But also, who are you? You know what I mean? It cuts to Seung-un, and in this episode, this is the one where they're sitting in the hot tub, and this is when he tells her, like, he can see them working on the outside. He was like, you know, my goal at the end of the day isn't just to pair off with somebody here. Like, long run, I want something that could work. So he's like, how long do you want to see your partner? Like, what are some things that you're into? All this other stuff. And the more they talk again, the more they're realizing we could work out. So he lets it be known when they get back that she's still someone that he plans to pursue. He was like, even though it's later on in the game and he knows that he wasted his time not interacting with other people, she's definitely somebody that he plans to get to know. Like, morning time, I'm gonna talk to you. Afternoon, we're chatting, don't matter, we're gonna talk, I'm gonna interact. And he's flirting with him. Like, he's like, what are your love languages? He's talking about how he likes to take care of people. She's like, so why weren't you taking care of me? All this other stuff. Like, she's basically letting it be known that he's someone that she is also interested in. Now, do I think she's interested in him more than Subin? I don't know, because she's never expressed attraction to him. Even as everything was going on, like, even when they had their little confessionals, I don't remember if Hisa ever had a confessional, and I don't think she ever mentioned that she was attracted to him, like, physically or emotionally or in any way, shape, or form. I don't remember. I can't recall. Jaejin and Joo-hyun are in their hotel room, and they're giving major couple vibes. They're sitting there, she's laying on the bed, and he's like, oh, your majesty, whatever you want, I'll serve to you. So there's like a plate of food at the foot of the bed. She's like, oh, I want some cheesecake. He scoops up some cheesecake, feeds it to her. She's like, I want a fry. Picks up a fry, gives it to her. More cheesecake, gives it to her. I'm like, Hyun-jae, I love you down, but they're cute. I'm sorry. They're just cute. So I'm like, and then as the night is winding down and he's sipping on his flute of champagne or wine or whatever is in that glass, he's just slowly getting more and more touchy. Like, he's holding her hand, he's looking at her, petting her head, caressing her while staring at her. I'm like, she's getting ready for bed. Like, she's showing like her little dress or whatever that she gonna put on to sleep. Then after that, like, when it's time to say goodnight, he's like, again, caressing her head, staring at her. I'm like, are they about to kiss? I'm like, are they about to smooch? Like, I was like, oh, he want that. But then they didn't kiss because they have morals and standards or whatever they got going on. So they didn't do that. And I was like, Hyun-jae, you still in there? Because because I know once they kiss, once it gets physical, it's over. It's over. It's complete. I mean, I think it's over anyway, but still. Subin and Minji are actually like really cute. I jumped the gun a little bit earlier when I was telling you about like when they were winding down for the night, because that actually happens in this episode and not episode 9. So for that, I'm sorry. But to explain a little bit more why I say they're cute is because as they're laying down in the bed, I told you they're a little bit tipsy. Subin, like I said, he's laying like this, and he's staring at her, and she's laying on the actual bed on her pillow, and she's staring at him, and they're talking. And he's like, you know, based off of my first impression of you, you're actually way cuter than I thought. And she was like, you didn't even see cute yet. Like, I haven't actually shown my cute side or whatever. And I'm like, if she didn't choose Seung-il and she would have went for Subin, I think they could have been a fan favorite as well. I'm not even gonna lie. Moving on, everyone is back at Inferno. The girlies are sitting in their room, they're chatting, and Mina is shaking in her boots just a little bit because she comes back and she's telling the girls about Seung-un, because nobody really knows too much about Seung-un as a romantic partner, because he's very to himself. During the challenges, he's always gotten the short end of the stick, so he hasn't actually gotten the chance to interact with anyone besides Mina. Not only did he not get the chance authentically, but he didn't forge the path for himself. Like, he didn't go out of his way to talk to anyone, so nobody spoke to him in turn. So the girls are really looking at Hyun, like, okay, so like, what is he like? Like, what is he like as a person? And Hyun, she's basically letting it be known, like, you know, he really shocked me. This is that the third. She's talking about like how comfortable she was with him. She's like, they were more similar than she anticipated, all this other stuff. And as she's talking, Mina, she does that thing where she just sits there and she stares. It feels like a role reversal, because remember in my other videos I was like, Mina Su, she'll sit there and she's yapping about Subin, and Hyun would just sit there quietly to the side just watching her. It's like now it's flipped, and Hyun is sitting there talking about Seung-un, and Mina's just staring her down, like she's trying to soak in all the words because she's jealous. She's salty that she's not the one telling all the girls this information, because so far with all the dudes, the girls were learning about the dudes through her, low-key. It's now time for the boys to have a challenge, and the boys get to choose what girl they want to take to paradise, right? To describe what the game is, they have to do like this tug of war. Like they're strapped to a harness. There's like this string attached to their back, and they're like kneeling on the sand. They have to crawl forward, and whoever is... It's tug of war. You know how tug of war works, but the loser either falls on the water or is the person who is closest to the line once the timer is up, right? So throughout this challenge, I'm not even going to talk about anyone else. All I'm going to say is Egon. If you watched it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yo, Egon has something to prove. He didn't come to play no games. He got strapped up and he said, I'm about to show these boys how it's really done, and he did just that. He beasted. Hyun-woo was also beasting. Anyone who went up against Hyun-woo, I was like, oh, it's a done deal. But you got like, it was, yo, Egon dusted everyone that he was paired with, and it got to the point where him and Seung-min got paired together, so it was like their showdown, like, because the two of them, they've low-key been butting heads subtly throughout these past 3 episodes, because they both know they like the same girl. So this was like their moment to like really, you know, be men and do as men do and compete for the girl that they like. He gets paired with Seung-min, and he just starts going, and he's going, and he's going, and you just see Seung-min fly back into the water, bro. And I was like, oh. Then it gets to the end, and he gets paired with Hyun-woo. And with Hyun-woo, throughout the whole thing, Hyun-woo was also beasting. Anyone that was paired up with Hyun-woo ended up in that water. Seung-il went up against Hyun-woo first, and it was a done deal. That man had, like, he had no chance. So when I saw Hyun-woo get paired up with Egon, I was like, oh, this one is interesting. But like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought Hyun-woo would win, but I was rooting for Egon, right? So the challenge goes, and they're both they're just hunkered down. They're like tanks. They're just I'm in there, I'm not going nowhere, right? And then you just see Egon just start clawing on the floor. He pulling, and you see Hyun-woo sliding backwards, and I'm like, wait. And then he just hunkers down. He holds it, and he wins. And I honestly, very impressed. I was like, oh, you weren't going bad. Remember I told you they're competing for placements. So he wanted first place to make sure that Hyun-woo wouldn't choose Go-eun, right? Egon, when it gets to the point for the guys to choose, obviously Egon goes first. We know who he picks. He holds hands with Go-eun, and they ride off into the sunset, right? Now, what makes this paradise recoupling interesting is that Hyun-woo went second, and everyone was sitting here, we're like, who's Hyun-woo gonna pick? Hyun-woo was like, who am I gonna pick? Everyone's like, who is Hyun-woo gonna go for? Gets to the chance for him to go, and he is like, I choose to forfeit my chance to go to paradise. Everybody's like, what? This has never been done before. So he literally, because he couldn't go with Go-eun, he literally was like, I'm not even gonna go. Like, I'm not doing this like fake friendship thing. I'm not going. I didn't say who got third place, but it was Hyun-jae. Shocker, shocker. I know. I was so happy. I was rooting for him as well, obviously. When he got his third place pick, I was like, okay, so he gets at least one more chance to try to even the playing field, because bro, like, please. So he chooses Joo-hyun and they hold hands and they ride off into the sunset. They're in the helicopter. The guys, they tell Go-eun about it. They tell Go-eun about Hyun-woo's choice, and Go-eun, like, she's very touched by it. Like, she appreciated it or whatever. But we didn't stay on that segment too long because it's just like, it's not about Hyun-woo. We gotta go to paradise. You know what I mean? We end off this episode with Go-eun and Egon, and this date is what really made me change my opinions on him, because if you watch my last video, I was like, I don't know how I feel about him. I don't know how genuine he is. I don't know. And you know, there's still moments where I do feel that way. I feel like I've definitely warmed up to him because of episode 10. So they're on their date. They're sitting on the bed. They're talking. And it's just like, their interaction just seems so effortless, so easy, so cute. Like, it's raining. He's a little burnt out because of the challenge that he did. His body was a little tired. So they're just laying there and they're just relaxing. They're looking out the window, watching the rain hit the pool. They're just vibing. They're just existing. And Egon, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna remember this day forever. Like, this is a really good day or whatever. And it's cute, right? But forget cute. Cut to the pool. Yo, the two of them in that pool, bro, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was overly locked in when they were in that pool, because it started off with like cute little interactions, like they're swimming around. She's like, oh, I'm not a great swimmer, like she's like doggy paddling, and he's like, I'll teach you how to swim. So like they're just moving around there, whatever. They're sitting there having yet another conversation, talking about like partners, what they want in a relationship, like who, the different types of interactions they think that they would have in the future, like what do you think they would fall out for, like what are their, again, their likes, their dislikes, their interests. They're getting to know each other. You know the pattern when it comes to them. They have a moment where like he swims out across the pool, right? There's a gap between the two of them, but the tension was tensioning. She's sitting there and she's like, oh, that scar across your chest is really hot, and he's looking at her, and then they're talking and he's looking at her. Well, no matter what they doing, he's looking at her, and I'm like, bro. So it gets to the point where he's looking at her and he's like, what are you thinking about? And she's like, should I go to you or should you come to me? She said that. I said, oh. So then he stops and he's staring at her. They're doing their eye contact thing again. And she's like, what are you thinking about? He's like, should you come to me or should I come to you? And I'm like, bro. So I'm like so then they're talking, and she's like, you should come to me. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna take the long way. He goes around, like paddles or whatever, and then he gets up and he starts walking towards her, and I'm like, oh my god, they finna kiss. I'm like, they gonna kiss, it's over, they gonna kiss. They didn't kiss, but the tension was still there. The chemistry is there, the compatibility is there. Like, at first I thought it was lust and not affection, but they definitely give off both. I think it's both. They definitely have a sexual attention, but they do have an emotional connection forming. It's budding, because like after that, like even though he didn't kiss her, he sat next to her, he was talking to her, whatever, they're giggling, they're looking at each other, and he's just like, I really like you, like I really like you. And I was just like, oh, it was so cute. But yeah, episode ended there. They gave like a little hint as to what the last two episodes is going to be like. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I really paid too much attention to what the future snippets were. The only thing I remember was the panelists being like, none of the decisions that they made matched up with what they thought, so that had me like, I don't know. Seung-il found out that Minji and Subin slept in the same bed, and he told Heesun about it. So I'm just like, don't know how that's gonna tide over. You see Seung-il and Hee-sun sitting there having a chat, so I'm like, oh, okay, like y'all are actually being real about wanting to pursue each other. Okay, to be honest, those are the only parts that like really stood out to me, that I'm like, ooh, I want to see how that plays out. Everything else is just like we'll get there when we get there next week type beat. I was very shocked to see how much my opinions changed on certain couples. Like Hee-sun and Subin blew my mind. I thought their pairing was on the verge of collapse. Like I genuinely thought it was gonna be over for the two of them, but Hee-sun won him over. Hee-sun won me over. I think Hee-sun won the nation over. I'm so deeply attached to her. Like I always knew that I liked her, but like these last 3 episodes really solidified that for me. Like I told you, my opinions on Egon are definitely swaying. Again, Minji and Seung-il, they're not really hitting for me. I'm no longer rooting for Hyun-woo and Go-eun, which is shocking because for me they were one of my top picks. Like that was crazy. When he cut the chicken, I was like, oh, hook, line, and sinker, you're in there. And he hopped right back out. It was insane. Yo, one thing I will say, I find it so funny how in the span of one night, Mina lost both her top picks. Like she blew Subin. Subin was not going for it after that dinner. And then Seung-il was so completely turned off after their conversation in the hotel room. I was just like, girl, like you too pretty to be this emotionally dumb. Like your EQ is insane. It's actually insane. Minji and Hee-sun going for both of Mina's top picks. I said it before, but that was too tea. It was too good. I was like, oh my god. The rest didn't really change for me. It was kind of still the same feelings. I still hope Hyun-jae gets to win over Joo-hyun, but I feel like Joo-hyun is leading towards Jae-jin. I really do like Jae-jin as a person, so I'd still be happy if he gets the girl as well. But like I said before, I do wish he would have gave Han more of a chance because they have a lot of similar interests, but maybe they'll just be good as friends. Who knows? I'm interested to see how Mina finagles this one. I want to know if within these last couple of days that they have, if she's gonna be able to sink her claws into Seung-il once and for all. Like she always had him there, but now he has someone else, whereas before she was his only person that he was going for, so we couldn't really put him to the test. So I do want to see where that's gonna go for sure. I think he's gonna choose her. I do think he's gonna choose Mina, but just to spice stuff up, I kind of want him to go for Hee-sun, just cause I just want to see how that plays out. But yeah, also lastly, I do want to know if Minji goes back to Seung-il or not. Like I don't know. She definitely did seem like she was interested in Subin, and you know Minji's the type to go for one person, so I feel like once her emotions start swaying, like that reflects how she feels internally, that she really might not be feeling Seung-il as much anymore. But during the challenge, she was very worried for him. So I don't know. We'll only know once next week's episodes come out. But by the time you see this, it'll probably already be out by then. So here's to hoping. Let me know. Does Hyun-jae get the girl? Just tell me if Hyun-jae gets the girl, please. Do we still like Egon? Oh, that's another thing, because Egon, he was letting it be known that like he's starting to feel that pressure from Seung-min, and she's I'm realizing I can't let you be too free or whatever. One thing I will say, even though I said he's like, I'm warming up to him, there's still small aspects of him that like give off red flag energy. When he was talking to her, he was like, oh yeah, I could get really jealous and that scares me. Skirt. One thing a girl never needs is an overly jealous man, because that's when stuff starts getting dangerous and obsessive. So when he said it's so bad that it scares me, and like he's the older one in the relationship, like they have an age gap and all, I'm like, don't know how I feel about that too much. Mixed in with him being a harsh speaker, I'm like, I don't know. Again, I don't know. Honestly, I do still get the vibe that it's like potential to be great in the beginning and potential to go downhill as it progresses. But I don't know. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt because their chemistry is just too good. Their chemistry is so good that I'm like, I have to give you the benefit of the doubt at the very, very least. So Egon, I beg, do my girl justice. Please. Please. For some of the instances that I mentioned in this video, I actually recorded my reactions to them on TikTok. About Egon and Go-eun in the pool. I showed my reaction to when the double date nightmare were on the helicopter and when they were actually on their double date. And I spoke about Minji and I showed my reaction to her choosing Subin in the end. So definitely check out my TikTok and keep your eyes peeled for my YouTube shorts, because I do put some of my opinions and stuff like that over there as well. I have done enough rambling. This recording alone is almost 2 hours. It's basically the length of a singles Inferno episode itself. So if you guys have made it this far into the video, thank you so much for staying this long and just listening to me rambling about this show. I really appreciate that. Trust me, I do. If you have any opinions about anything I've said or anything you feel towards these last 3 episodes, please leave it in the comment section down below. I will read it and I will respond. Okay, but that is going to be all for today. Feel free to check out my social medias linked in the description box down below. Just press the follow button. Maybe you'll also go to paradise and hit it off with the guy you least expect. Like, you never know. Do it for the inner giggles, you feel me? And before you go, don't forget to press that like button and that subscribe button if you haven't already, and comment this emoji down below so I know you made it this far into the video. And without further ado, I will see you in the next one. Bye.